Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book 91. We are giving you guys again the US Taskforce on Married at First Sight. This is where we get to discuss the week's episode concerning Married at First Sight. I know there were some crazy things that happened. I know you guys were very, very hurt with Paige backsliding again. But listen, guys, look, we're here to discuss all the couples, okay? All right, don't get stuck on Paige and Chris. There's more to discuss. All right, so I'm joined again once more by some really great content creators who are also involved about talking about Married at First Sight. So it's a pleasure, it's an honor to have them on the show once more again. I'm going to let them introduce themselves variously as well. So I'll go with August Love Story first. If you guys introduce yourself, let them know where they can find you as well.
I'm Artika.
And I'm Tommy.
And we're all over the internet at August Love Story.
Beautiful, beautiful. Jack and Glenn, go for us.
Hi, I'm Jackie.
And I'm her husband, Glenn.
He's always lying.
Always. You can find us at Jack and Glenn on YouTube, Jack_Glenn on Instagram, Jack_Glenn on Twitter. And we're just ready to get into this week's discussion because we don't like backsliders.
Appreciate you. And Talisa, hit us up, man.
It's me by myself. I am Talisa Ray. You can find me everywhere at I am Talisa Ray here on YouTube, Talisa Ray. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's
ready.
Get it.
I appreciate that. Don't worry, Talisa, it's me and you. We're both. There's no one on our sides but the Holy Spirit. Understand? Don't worry, guys. Understand? It's always us two on our own by the Holy Spirit. So don't worry about it. I got you. All right, cool. So today, obviously, let's start with a bang. Let's go straight into it. Chris and Paige is the number one talking scenes. I wanted to leave them last week, but this week we're going straight in with them. All right, Chris and Paige. Whew, it looked like it was going so well. She even left the particular scenario, and then she came back and it all fell to pots. So I'm going to go to Talisa first because you're last to speak. Talisa, what's our thoughts around Paige and the Chris situation, the Great Reset?
I'm just so exhausted. So I needed a nap before, and I think it was probably because I knew we were going to talk about Chris and Paige. They drained me to no end. I'm so tired of talking about them and their situation. I just don't know what happened to Paige. I just don't understand. This relationship doesn't serve me to all smiles and hello, my name is Paige reset. I'm confused by what her logic is. I'm confused by why she would think that he really genuinely wanted a reset. I really think that right now she's just, I don't know. I don't know, lost and confused. I don't know. I was really excited about her not showing up for him. I was really excited. And when he said that he wanted to meet again and that whole, I'm going to let the Lord lead me when he wakes up in the morning, I swear I thought to myself, okay, so maybe that's why I'm by myself, because I'm not listening to the Lord. I'm leaning in on my own understanding. Maybe God is telling me I'm supposed to stay in some toxic, unhealthy relationship, and I'm missing it. I don't know what God she's listening to, but it's not the same one that I hear. It's not the one that directs my path. And to each their own. I don't have any issue with who she serves, but I just can't understand why she thinks God is continually bringing her back into this situation to just end up embarrassed. She mentioned, you've been embarrassing me. You're embarrassing yourself wholeheartedly. Now you are a willing participant in this circus that is your marriage. I just don't understand why. I'm over Paige. I really want to just fast forward when they come and just not review them. I really feel like they don't even deserve my energy. What are we doing? So I don't know.
I'm hearing you. August Love Story, talk to me, man. What are you saying? Paige and Chris, man. What's going on, man?
You want to go?
Yeah, I go. I think Paige, I don't know if Paige thinks she's not pretty or something, but she's allowing herself this, one day she's like, yeah, I don't want him. This is not serving me. But then as soon as she get in his face, it's, oh, but we're married. God is telling me to do this. He put this in my heart to do this, and we gonna reset. I don't understand what reset means. You don't owe this guy anything. You've known him less than a month. Y'all are married, but you obviously know that he doesn't want to be married to you. I don't know who you've been dating in the past, but at some point you have to go left instead of keep going right. Um, it's a sad situation, and yeah, like I'm with Talisa. I was like, man, I kind of just want to skip them, man, because it's at this point it's done.
And
Mm.
also was kind of confusing as well when they sat down. One of the very first things that he said to her was, "Nothing has changed from last week.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we here? If
No,
nothing
no
has
revelation.
changed from last week, why are we here? Why did you want to sit down with me? What did you expect to gain from this?" And then when she walked off, you could tell obviously that production is pushing this conversation back together. But it's like, stand your ground that this
Mm.
is not serving you. Like, it's okay for it to not serve it, for it to not be serving you, and you still fulfill your obligations of the contract.
Mhm.
Those two things are not like the same thing. They're mutually exclusive of each other. You cannot deal with Chris and still live out your 8 weeks that you have to live with these cameras following you. Your 8 weeks are
Mm.
just going to look a lot different from the other couple's 8 weeks. But I
Mm.
don't get what his purpose was outside of wanting to be famous, because he's using this, as we see him all over the internet now, he's using this for fame.
Mm.
But for
it's
that
backfired.
conversation, it's just like, what are we doing here? If nothing's changed, we don't have anything to talk about.
Mm. I'm with you on that. With you on that. Jack and Glenn, talk to us, man. What are you saying? What you thinking? What you feeling?
I think I'm gonna start with the last point that Artika made. Okay, so if nothing changed from last week while we're here, I'm here to show you up, because I know you talked to somebody. He came there all smug. He sat down like, I can't wait to let this loose on her. He came to show her up. Like, really, Chris? For real? That's what we doing? Especially like you said, he was like, nothing has changed. But then, I mean, granted, the conversation that Paige had with Pastor Dwight, we probably get to that, but you know, and we said it before, Chris is double-minded. He's unstable in all his ways. Even in that conversation, he went back and forth. Nothing has changed, but then I'm just afraid. I'm afraid I might fall. What if I make the wrong decision? Like, what if going with her is the right thing? But I just don't know, you know. But I mean, his whole point in coming in the first place was to try to show her up. Oh, you thought you had something. Oh, you thought you was doing something. Talking to Pastor Dwight, she thought, I know about your conversation. Oh, I know. That's what he came for.
Yep.
But yeah, Paige is a sucker. I hate to say it. You know, I really like her, but I'm like, she tells him, you making me look crazy out here. Like Talisa said, no, you're making yourself look crazy because you keep falling for the manipulation. The snake keep whispering in your ear and you keep going for the fruit. You keep going. You know you're not supposed to. Paige needs to go in her prayer closet a whole lot more than she has been. She need to go in her prayer closet some more. I don't think I'm to the point where I want to fast forward it. It really is taken away from the show, though. It really is. And then, like Artika said, like Zach and Mindy, you can fulfill your contractual obligation and just, sail through. We don't need the antics and the shenanigans. Just don't need it.
Yeah, but he came to show up, but he left with the draws. Because there's no doubt in my mind that when they hit the reset, she ain't gonna sleep with that man that night.
Oh Lord.
There's no doubt in my mind.
He said it.
See, he came again. He's deprived for the week because Mercedes went home. Right? Let's look at it. He's deprived for the week, so he know where can I go get this? Where can I go get me some from? And he knows she's over there willing to give it to him. And so he went there. It is what it is. But I blame production for this because they gonna have. If you listen to production, they had a conversation with her, and they didn't let her leave. And so they let her come back. She was out the door. That's the thing, is she was out the door. She was gone. If she would have kept going, it would have been straight. She wouldn't have had to hit the reset button. But because production allowed her to get back in the environment that she's in, she was able to hit the reset. I don't want to get too biblical. It says shun the very appearance of evil, which means you got to leave. You got to run.
No, that would be the Lord always provides a way of escape.
Yeah, the Lord provides a way of escape.
That's what that was.
He provided a way of escape, and you came back to the door. He gave you enough strength to get up and leave, and somebody stopped you. It wasn't for the check, because if you watch the show, you know Zach and Mindy did they did 8 weeks apart, still got their bread and everything else. It is what it is. But she has nobody in her life who's talking to her. My thing is, we have not seen Paige family on this. Think about it. We haven't seen nobody from Paige's side. No Paige family. Matter of fact, if you think about it, Chris has not met with anybody in Paige's family.
Yeah.
Even the next morning after the wedding. So therefore, it seems like she has no support, nobody behind her, and she listened to the wrong people. She listened to production. She listened to the girls on the show, but she's not coming up with her own mindset and determination. You don't have to hit the reset with this dude. Put you through hell already in 18 to 20 days. He don't put you through hell. Why go back to that? And unless you're getting some counseling, some good counseling, and I ain't talking about from his boy neither.
I hear that. It's let me ask the rest of the panelists as well. Is there some responsibility that is then placed upon the production? If I can make it very, very clear, the production actually said, go back and tell him you don't want to talk no more. So they actually didn't encourage you to go in back and reset. But is there some responsibility though on production? Because like Jack and Glenn were saying, she was out the door. You know what I mean? Like that was a Joseph moment. You know, Joseph ran out of Potiphar's place, and then someone says, "Joseph, go back in there. Just go and tell her you don't want it no more." You know what I mean? Like it's kind of difficult. So, is there any responsibility, any accountability we can put onto production's side of things in terms of that correspondence that happened between Paige and Chris second time round? Talisa, you want to say?
So, yes and no, right? Okay. I understand that she's only in her 20s. They did give her some direction. They said, go back and stand your ground and tell him no. She followed their directive, but she went back, but did not stand her ground with don't contact me anymore, was what she should have said. If she felt like she needed to follow along with what they said because of contractual obligations, she could have sat her happy self there and told him, I'm just going to sit here and look at you because you're just going to play these games with me. So I really feel like blame is she still has to be accountable. I don't care what they tell me to do. I'm going to go and participate as much as I want to. And the stop is, what you calling just to stare at me because this is all we're going to do. We can actually just talk on the phone and say whatever you want to say in circles. So I feel like she has to have some accountability. But then, of course, like you said, it's the money. But the money is not telling me to be in the relationship and reset and reintroduce myself and go through the nonsense with you again. So, I say she still has to hold full accountability for her actions and the things she says.
Yeah, I represent that. August Love Story, what do you guys think? Responsibility on production? No?
I don't think it's on production at all. I think all the blame is on her. Production is there to produce this show. They're there to find the great moments in the show. They're there to make sure that we see the hook, basically, of the show. She's there to like be that I guess you at this point you can say the joke. You know what I'm saying, of the show, because I mean, like, she made the decision to say, well, let's reset or agree to the reset. Production didn't tell her to do that. They actually told her to, like, hey, tell them what you feel, you know. But her job is to protect herself. Like if he was beating on her or something like that, I think then you somebody needs to step in, because that's not right. But for her to be manipulated like that, that's on her. If I can get away with it, I will. You know, because we know how Chris is. He's a manipulative person. And if he can get away with it, he's going to. It's not on production to be like, no, that's not okay.
That's real.
I have the question of why she didn't state to production when they told her to go back and stand her ground. Why did she not just in that moment say, I'm leaving. That is me standing my ground. Because when I don't want to be in a situation, I can remove myself from it. She did that, and then they told her to go back and essentially remove yourself from this situation. I've done it once. I don't need to do it twice. You can understand that I do not want to be with you. I do not want to talk to you. We don't have anything to say to each other by me walking away from you. Why do I need to go back and put that in plain English? You got it by my actions. Production was manipulating her in that situation just as much as Chris manipulates her in the situation. She's choosing to be allowed to be manipulated, but she had stood her ground before they told her to stand her ground. That's what the exit was. They were just trying to make good TV.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm hearing that. Let me ask another question, I guess, for Chris and Paige. Then, so obviously, the situation obviously has got to a point where we're looking at Paige and saying, obviously, Paige, you know, she's making these choices to stay in the marriage. Do you think that maybe she stayed in? Do you think that she? I don't know how to explain it. You know when, like, sometimes you know something's not good for you, right? But you're almost looking for signs to stay in it. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you're looking for signs to stay in it. And I wonder if you guys maybe could talk about this. Do you think she took the redirection of the production team as a sign to go back into that relationship? Because, like, you know, sometimes when you're in a relationship, I don't know, some of us guys have been in a relationship where it's like, you're almost looking for someone to say something to confirm that, okay, go back in, even though you know you shouldn't be in there no more. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know if do you feel like she used the production as a springboard to go back into that relationship? I see you've unmuted the mic. Go for it, August Love, and I'll go to Jack and Glenn.
I'll say she did in a sense, because they told her to go back in, but they didn't tell her to go back in and make amends, unless that's something that was edited out, which
That's cool, man. It's all good, man.
That production told her to go back in and make amends, and they just edited that part out. But she didn't have to make amends. There is no reset. I feel like we reset this relationship like 3 or 4 times in, like, what are we, 15 days in?
Yeah,
that's just it's too much. Like, if I have to reset with you that many times on anything, what are we doing this for? You're just not a fit for me, and that's okay.
I hear that. Jack and Glenn, what you guys saying?
I would say I don't think she used that as a sign. I don't know. I was going to say the same thing as Artika. You know, we on our 3rd reset at this point, really. How many times we going to reset? But I still say again, like Artika said too, that was my explanation. No is a complete sentence. I'm done is a complete sentence. And I think it was either Artika or Talisa that said it before, that I leave. If I got anything to say, I know how the phone works. I could send him a text or I could call him. Anything else I want to say, I'm not going back in there. But I don't know. I feel like, yeah, production manipulated the situation, but she took it upon herself. Again, I'm going to keep saying it. She let the snake keep hissing and whispering in her ear. And she doesn't have anybody there, because the producers are there to produce a show. They are not sound counsel. They're not counsel at all. So if she's using that as her guide, you wrong, because they're going to tell you go back in it, because they want to film it. They want to get it out there. You know, so she needs somebody, and she obviously, we have learned that Paige doesn't have that clicker to be like, girl, get yourself out of there. It's nothing in her that's bopping her upside her head at all.
I think you got to look at Paige's psyche, and we look at it from the whole aspect of it. She wants to be married, and so anything that allows her to stay married, she can. That old adage. You know how sometimes old grandmas and older people say, girl, whatever he does, just as long as you get married, come on home. And that's the way she's acting, and that's the way she's focused. Oh, he keep coming back home. I just want to be married. That's my husband. That's my husband. And that's the mindset she has. Even the past relationships she had, I guarantee you, we really dug into it. She didn't leave the men that she was with. The men left her. And that's the way she's acting now, that she has a behavior that she's clinging, and she wants to cling on. She wants to be in the marriage. Whether good, bad, or indifferent, she wants to be in this marriage because she's frustrated and she's upset, but she keeps coming back. The dude already told, how many more ways does Chris have to say, I don't want you? He already told her, you're not attractive. I just want the sex. I got me a divorce lawyer. I don't want to have this marriage. I bring you in front of my baby mama, and we all have a conversation. How many more ways does he have to tell her that Stevie Wonder blind, he could see this. All right. So to me, she wants to be married. So guess what? She's gonna ride the 8 weeks out. I really don't blame production. They put the seed there, but guess what? She watered it, she acted on it, and she stayed there. So it was her who did it. And because again, she has low self-esteem.
Apparently.
She has no support.
Apparently.
Really don't feel good about herself.
Apparently.
And so now she needs Chris to kind of validate who she is. So this is what she's doing. I'd rather have a piece of man than no man at all. So she got a piece of man. Not a whole man, but she got a piece of man. And again, my other thing is he wants to have a conversation, but never starts one.
Never.
I hear that. What? Okay, I'll leave Chris and Paige because we can talk about them, and we'll feel like we're gonna get tired of you doing it. Do you know what I mean? Listen, Chris, Paige, Paige, hurry up and get out of there. Cause, all right, Nick, I don't know what else she can bring next week. I just don't know what else she can bring. But he's gonna tell her he loves her. So, all right. Let's talk about Bree and Vincent. Obviously, Bree and Vincent. Man, Vincent let me down big time. He let me down big time. Talisa, talk to me, man. Vincent and Bree, the shutdown. Talk to me.
I don't understand. I don't understand why he cannot articulate when he's uncomfortable. I don't understand why he can't articulate or why he's afraid to just open up and say, this isn't what I know how to do. Anytime something is not difficult, but against or where he feels embarrassed, he shuts down. It seems like that is the going to be the norm for him. I'm going to be quiet. The moment it doesn't look right, it doesn't feel good, I feel like everybody is looking at me and I'm embarrassing myself, he is going to clam up and shut down and not share, hey, help me out, I'm vulnerable, or help me out, listen, this is different for me. He needs to kind of embrace who he is and live in the fact that, I'm a man's man. That's what he, feels like he is. I'm a man's man. And as a man's man, when I'm embarrassed, I need to take a break. I need to step back. I need to figure out how to let you in. So, and explain to you, because the whole shutdown, the whole, are you okay? I'm fine. Are you sure you're okay? No, I have a big thing with people who don't know how to communicate. Like and I get sometimes that it's harder for men. You can't find the words, right? I don't know the words to say. What am I supposed to say? How is it going to come across? And I don't want to seem like a simp, a loser, any of them other things that I can think of that I'm not going to say. Okay. I don't want to seem that way. So he doesn't know how to find the words to be like, this is hard. I'm nervous. I'm afraid. I'm scared. And unfortunately, Brianna's going to get tired of holding space for him and being gracious and allowing him to have these moments of weakness and not say anything and then trying to pull it. She's going to get tired of it. And she's just going to go back to regular Bree, because I see her trying to make room for him and make it a safe space for him to have a conversation. And he's not accepting it. He's not walking into it and saying, this is my wife. That whole, was it this episode that they said, I love you? It is, right? And so when they were saying it, the whole pretext was it, or text or context of it was, you make me feel safe. Like, I feel like, I can be vulnerable, but here you are, we're saucing and you're not, you're embarrassed. You're not opening up. You're not sharing how you feel. So I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in Vince. I feel like they can still make things happen if he just takes a moment and reflect, do some self-reflection, look at himself in the inside, and just realize that she's there for him. Like, she was excited about the dance. I mean, she was cute. Listen, she was all in and reassuring him, it's okay, babe. It's fine. I don't know what I'm doing either. Like, relax. We all mess up. We don't, we all are imperfect, and just do what you say and open up and be vulnerable. You love me, I'm your safe space. Like,
I hear that. Jack and Glenn, what you lot saying? Vincent shut down team.
I'll let you go first.
I would say in the first place, it would have been good for him to say, which he said off in his little private camera moment, that I'm not that familiar with the salsa. That's not really what we do. If it was the bachata, I feel more comfortable. If he had told her up front something like, oh wow, you got us a dancing lesson. Oh, that's so sweet of you. That's nice. We learning the salsa. Oh man, that's not my forte, but I'm gonna try. Open it like that. You know what I'm saying? That would have been good to say up front. And then, as opposed to coming to the end, then she would have already known that I might be frustrated because I don't know. And I mean, obviously she picked up on the clues, but then at the end, Vincent has not had someone in his life that allowed him to express himself and express his feelings.
100.
It's obvious. Especially with it shouldn't take me 2 and 3 and 4 prompts for you. Did you enjoy yourself? It was all right. It was all right. When you're not fooling me, you're not even fooling yourself. I can tell you didn't like it. Just be upfront. That's why she asked again, are you okay? No, I'm not okay. Then explain, say why you're not okay. You was embarrassed, you're sweating, you're frustrated, you got 2 left feet when it comes to the salsa, obviously not other stuff, but just be upfront and say, at the end, since he didn't say it from the beginning, yeah, I mean, it was a good thought. And I know you had, it was a sweet thing to do. But babe, man, that was hard. And I'm frustrated. Oh my gosh, I cannot do the salsa. And it's hot in here. Okay. So I'm a little upset.
He needs to learn how to laugh at himself.
That too.
I mean, let's think about it. He needs to learn how to laugh at himself. You getting mad at the salsa is not that serious.
Yes, no.
It's not the end of your night. Your wife did something nice. She wanted to take y'all dancing. She put forth the effort. Let's say production didn't spend the money. She spent the money for you to go to dancing class, for you guys to have a night out to enjoy yourselves, and you're frustrated because you can't get the salsa right. Guess what, man? It's okay. It's all right. But enjoy yourself that you're spending time with the one that you said you love. Whether you're right, and go back and laugh at the fact that you know what, I tried, but I got 2 left feet. And she wasn't even getting mad. That's the thing. She wasn't upset. She just was happy enough to spend time with her husband doing something new. And guess what? He got frustrated. I don't think this is every area of his life probably like this. When he's on his job and as frustration comes, he'll probably get upset. It seems like when adversity comes with Vincent, he doesn't know how to handle adversity. And so we know we all grown. Life gives us adversity all the time, and we got to be able to handle it. He is like a backup quarterback getting thrown into the game, and I'm trying not to make a mistake. I don't want to make this mistake. If I drop the ball, if I throw an interception, 100. She's not going to love me. She's going to love you in spite of. She's going to love you in spite of. Your imperfections, if she says she loves you, she's going to love your imperfections, your bitty moments, all of that. She didn't trip on him. And he should have been like, you know what? I'm struggling, but thanks for being supportive. 100. I'm struggling. Thanks for helping me out. Look, I'm laughing. You know what? Man, that was hard. But you know what? I enjoy holding your hand, being with you. Enjoy the moment with your spouse. We know we live in a day and age that somebody could be here today and gone tomorrow. But, so at this point, enjoy the moment that she's in and with her. And he got to learn how to laugh and relax and relax and again, communicate with your spouse. I'm struggling, but you know what? I'm just happy to spend time with you.
Can I say this real quick? I got to say this real quick because it kind of reminds me of myself. Like Vincent comes off as a perfectionist. And when you're a perfectionist and you mess up, you really just cannot get yourself together. It's hard. You beating yourself up, and it's hard to tell your spouse or your partner that because they're not a perfectionist, maybe not. But it's hard to express. Like, man, I'm like, gosh, why can't you get this? Why can't you get this right? And he just came off like that to me, and it's hard to express that too.
You're a perfectionist.
Be quiet.
Go for it, August. Go for it.
I was actually going to say that same thing. I can identify with that part of Vincent's personality. When I want to be good at something and I can't, I get frustrated. I shut down because of it. Now, one thing about me, don't look at me like that. One thing with me is that I don't have a camera crew following me around to watch me get frustrated about it. So I think it's very human of him to get frustrated in those moments. But he's going to have to figure that part of himself out to be less frustrated about things that he's not good at. But it did feel when Brianna was talking to him like you're talking to a 3-year-old, where they don't have the words to express the actual emotion that they're feeling. Like maybe they only understand happy and mad, and frustrated just doesn't connect with them. And so he had to figure out how to get to the frustration, and she had to pull that out. So that's something that he's going to have to work on. Like, I'm not saying you can't get upset because things aren't going the way that you want them to. Like, that is perfectly normal. But learning how to verbalize through those things that are making you upset is where the problem lies. Like, a lot of the time, something that we've been doing since we've been together is if we get frustrated and we can't get it out, what Tommy calls table the conversation. And we come back to it when we can actually verbalize how we truly feel about it. Because sometimes you're just mad to be mad. And you have to stop being mad to be mad. Figure out what you're upset about. And then be able to explain that to the other person. This is what I'm upset about. I don't like it because you did this. When you did this, I felt like this. So if we can stop both of those things, we can live happily ever after in that capacity. Maybe not all the way around, but at least we can stop that one thing. But I guess when you look at it, it's just one of those things like he has to kind of take a step back from himself and figure out the words. Like, what is it that he's frustrated with? Is it because you don't want to look bad on camera, or is it because you don't understand this dance? Those are two different things. And you need to figure out which one of those things is truly the issue.
Yeah, I think more so of Vincent, like everything you said is correct, I believe. But the thing that bothers me the most about this situation is Brianna has to walk on eggshells and sugarcoat things and seriously think about what she says to him in order for him to get it. That's so frustrating to me just because I couldn't live my life like that. Like, I couldn't seriously go through every day of life having to think about, is this going to make her upset, or is she going to catch this, or is it going to come out this way, instead of just letting me say it. Now, the thing with Vincent, I believe somebody hurt Vincent in the past, because this is behavior that we've seen before, because I've taken a dance class before, and trust me, if you can't dance, the person that is the instruction, the dance instructor is going to hold your hand, because at the end of the day, they want you to learn how to get this dance.
Trust me.
That is their job, that you get this dance. And no matter how bad you are, you're gonna get it. And even in this situation, it was the only them. They've already expressed that they love each other. They already expressed that we see it. We see he bought her a bike. She was happy, and everything like that. So we see the relationship building, but it's like, okay, Vincent, it's you, your wife, and the instructors. There's no reason you could be the worst one. Tell them it's hot in here and you can't get it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Keep on pushing. That's an opportunity for you to really enjoy yourself, really laugh, and everything like that, man. Because, I mean, dancing is fun. It's not I got to get it. Even though, their culture may be somewhat of more serious dancing. But, I mean, he got to lighten up, man, because I don't know how long a person can receive what he's given in a tense moment like that. In a moment that you get frustrated with things, I don't know how long you can receive, you can live that way. So
I agree with that. I mean, that is difficult. I think watching it was a bit difficult. Just like his shutdown was very heavy. And I think that was what kind of made it a bit more difficult. Like, I get it. I think I can identify with his kind of perfectionist. The scary thing is you're a perfectionist, but you can't be perfect. It's even more frustrating. You know what I mean? Like, and I get it, right? But the shutdown that he brought, I was concerned. Because like we all get to that space where we're frustrated, we're angry, you know what I'm saying? Like, but we all have our ways of kind of dealing with our frustration and anger, right? But when you shut down like that, then she's asking you what's going on, and you go into silent mode and you're giving one word answers. I was genuinely scared for Bree. I was scared. I wasn't sure if the hand was gonna come up or something, bruv. And I don't want to think of him like that, but it can easily start off like that, looking like, the person is just he struggles to communicate, But bruh, that shut down after a dance, and I think what's scary is the high and the low so quickly. We've gone from dancing together to now suddenly within an hour, your mood has completely shifted, and she did nothing wrong. She didn't cuss you. She didn't laugh at you. She even offered to help you hold your hand to do it. She did everything she could do, and still she's getting the brunt in a second. I think that's for me where I was a little bit concerned. Listen, I always talk about Brie and how she was, some things can be said differently, but there's nothing this girl could have done. And I think that's the tough battle that we face here, which is like, he gonna need some therapy. Like he gonna need some serious therapy so that he can do it. This is not a Brie job. This is not a black woman's job. This is not a rehabilitation job. This is a therapy job. He needs to go get therapy ASAP Rocky. Because if he doesn't, he's gonna hurt this girl in a certain way. And I'm not talking about just physically, I'm talking about emotionally breaking her, because he will need to do that in order to win every single time. That emotional shutdown becomes a manipulation tactic very, very quickly if you don't get that together. So for me, I can't. No,
I think that's a good point. If I could, real quick, that you said is the manipulation piece right there. Because what happens, I think Tommy brought it up. Nobody wants to walk on eggshells. So now you're changing who you are to accommodate him because you don't want him to be upset or feel bad about himself. And I think you did say mental stability and mental health in this relationship for him. Like I said, I think my wife said, and I think Artika said as well, there's some things in his past that he has to deal with. There's some insecurity because he always talks about the woman who hurt him or people not having his back or being supportive. And I think he feels like he doesn't get support from anybody. And that he goes right to that when something hard happens and he can't achieve it. He goes back, oh, y'all not supporting me. I'm not getting this. And again, it could be very dangerous for her, not physically, but mentally, verbally, whatever case may be, because he could say some things. Again, that explosiveness comes up. Your family's not going to say that you have a temper if they never seen that. That was one of the first things that they said, yo, he has a temper if he blows up. That means you've been holding stuff in for years. Or they've seen the blow. That means you never dealt with issues. You never talked to anybody about your a Well, let's be honest. Vince has daddy issues. His daddy was never there. He doesn't know how a man how to control himself or how to express himself, because from a young age, there was never a man to teach him and show him that. So he's dealing with a lot of past hurts. We saw it last season real quick with Woody. Woody said he had to go to counseling to get the relationship with his daddy right. In order for him to be able to love Amani the way he did. So I agree with you. He needs counseling.
Anyone else want to add on to Vinny and
I do. I want to say one last thing. He wants the marriage to work so bad and does not have an example of what a marriage looks like, a healthy marriage looks like. And so he just shuts down instead of articulating and dealing with whatever, issues that are coming up. So I feel like that's why he's getting so frustrated. He wants it to be perfect. Like you guys said, he wants everything to be just so, because this is how a marriage is supposed to go. But if you don't have a good example, then you're just going off the cuff. You know what I mean? And I agreed. He definitely has to do the work so that it is healthy. Because honestly, I'm gonna be tired of him in a minute.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be tired, and I'm not in the relationship. It is taxing on my spirit, having to walk on eggshells because you're gonna say I'm being rude or disrespectful for articulating myself. So I'm getting tired. Poor Bree, I'm gonna do in a minute, So
yeah. And just to even add, so personally, so I remember me and my brother, so when we were younger, he had a lot of anger issues. He had went through a lot of things, but he was angry, bruv. Yeah. And when he gets angry, everybody goes on eggshells. And he's a younger brother. And one day I just told everybody, listen, I don't give a hoots what you do anymore, blood. I don't care if you grab a hammer and knife. I don't care. Today, I don't care. I'm not walking on any eggshells with you. You're gonna get it, bro. You see, and so what you don't realize is that as you're blowing up, and people might not see it as that. They might see it as Vinny's got problems with communication. I don't see it as that. I see it as you're shutting everybody else's mouth up. Because now, when I feel a certain way, I'm having to reshape my whole way of coming towards you to explain how I feel. I have to close my feelings. I have to close my frustrations and anger because I'm scared that you're going to react a certain way. And that is where the manipulation takes place. I'm seeing some comments. That's why I'm just responding to them. And I wanted to understand, it's not a small thing. That shutdown he did is not a small thing, because Bree will always remember that. Oh, snap. Okay. He's shut down like that. Like, next time I come, I got to be careful how I come to him, because if he does that, and that's why Woody's example is so powerful, because he told us, I've gone to do the work. Because I was scared at first when Woody said he was angry, but he said he went to do the work, and we saw that. But we need Vinny to be in the work because it's getting a bit techie. And if next week you have something like that again, we're gonna have to have an eject button for Bree because you don't know what can happen. You know what I mean? August Lobster, do you want to add anything? Sorry, I know in terms of Bree and Vincent.
No, I'm totally agreeing with you, man. Like it has to be taxing on Bree to have to walk on eggshells just to have a conversation and just to like live your life. It's like even with the examples, a lot of people don't have great examples of a father in the home or seeing their parents married together. We get that part. But it goes to a point to just be happy. Like at the end of the day, just be happy with who you're with and everything else will take care of itself. Like the anger issues and stuff like that, understand where they're coming from and like you guys said, do the work. Work on those things because as I can't ask her to, no, I don't want you to say it that way because it makes me feel this way and I get hope angry and want to smash up everything. I've been watching the Avengers like this whole.
No way, it's a good film.
But it's just hard, you know, to have to walk on those eggshells like that, and I feel bad for Bree to have to even think that way so early into their marriage, you know.
I hear that. Okay, so cool. We got obviously some other couples as well. Listen, last week we spoke about it. This was Clara Ryan. Man, we got problems. Because someone's getting something, but they're not giving. They're receiving, but not giving, and it's getting a bit techie right now. You understand? And certain people are getting and they're not giving. So, what do you guys think about the Clara and the Ryan situation? Since August Love Story, you were the last one to speak. I'll let you go first. Or Clara and Ryan, what's the same, man?
I don't know, man. Clara is just wanting to enjoy her donuts, and Ryan is like speaking this prolific life story thing that she's not with. I saw that coming a mile away, man. When it's hard because it's like as Ryan said, he's more so closed off to people. He doesn't trust a lot of people. And she's trying to break through a wall. Like this is the first time I feel like you had a male with a guard up. You know what I'm saying? And as up as it is with him, and Clara's like, I want to get some. I want to enjoy these donuts. I want to live a carefree life. You know what I'm saying? She's like that, and then Ryan is like, no, you have to like everything's so serious all the time. And I mean that's the thing that we're looking at. You know, it's really nothing to go off of with them except for that. Like it was like it looked like Ryan was completely pissed that she said that. Like at the end, I hadn't thought about anything like that. I just want to eat these donuts. It feels like what you say. It feel like I'm
taking a motivational
speech with they give free donuts. It's like,
and I'm gonna be honest. When he started talking, I tuned him out. So I know her sitting there trying to just enjoy her donuts because I was just like, where are we going with this, Ryan? Like, she literally just said, no, I don't have a passion for my job. I do it because it pays me. And that's the ending of it. And I don't know what he was looking for in that conversation or what he was trying to get out of it, but I just feel like they're not speaking the same language at all. Like she's just like, I want to have sex with my husband and I want to sleep until 10 and everything will be right in my world. And I'm ready for COVID to be over so I can go back to work like normal. And he's like, I'm looking for a deep connection and I want us to understand each other. And I'm just wondering, what does this deep connection even look like? Because he's never been in love. It's just...
I hear you. Jack and Glenn, what are you saying?
I thought that scene was hilarious to me. Because, I mean, he is just talking about the deep things of life. And she goes from one donut to the next. She goes from one donut to the next, and he's totally oblivious. He is oblivious. He's still talking. Like my husband said, you want some E.T. Eric Thomas inspirational stuff, and she is missing it. She is missing it. But I don't know. I kind of feel bad because like Ryan is being super deep, and he's trying to bring Clara into the deep with him, and she's like not going. I mean, you do want to talk about those kind of things. What motivates you? You know, but I don't know. At that, the donuts wasn't the place because she likes donuts. That wasn't the place to do it. Maybe once we get home, you know, and it's a lull, you know, we can we have a serious conversation now? It should pass the cookies and cream donuts, you know. But I don't know. Yeah, and she is just. I think Jeffy was closed off, but in a different kind of way. He was open to I think he was more open to the romantic, but Jeffy was closed off. You know, I would compare the two. But obviously, you know, Jeffy was good to go when it came to the other stuff. Ryan, I don't know.
Man, y'all skirting around the issue. I know what you was talking about, though. Yo, it's one-sided. She's taking care of him, and he ain't taking care of business. I know we haven't got there yet, but she's taking care of him, and he ain't taking care of business. She is sexually frustrated.
Very much so.
She wants something from him that he's not willing to give. My wife brought a point up. She thinks Ryan's a virgin. That he's just not saying it. That he's just not saying it. That he doesn't know how to handle the relationship to be with Claire. Claire's a fireball. She wants some things. She's getting the emotional piece. She's getting he's a nice guy, but she's just not getting it in the bedroom. And again, and that could be hindering to the relationship. Now, she also says she's been in relationships where she's gotten it real fast and they haven't lasted. And Ryan's just moving at his own pace and he's moving slowly. You know, they have to have communication. I think hopefully Dr. Viviana, who's a sex expert, could help them out. Because this is going to be a struggle in their relationship if they don't get it right, if he doesn't get it right. I mean, I think she said in a couple episodes that she hadn't even seen him without a shirt on. You know, how you be in a house with your spouse and y'all married for 20, 30 days and not see him with a shirt on? Don't walk into the bathroom, don't take a shower. He go to bed with a T-shirt on? I mean, what's going on here? You know, so there's no intimacy, and she's struggling with the fact that she can't get any intimacy from him, and that's her love language was intimacy. She said it. She told us the whole time she likes to be touched, and so he's not doing that and meeting that need. You know, she got more enjoyment from the donuts than she did Ryan.
Yes, she did.
You know.
Can I preface? And when I said I'm getting virgin vibes from Ryan, like for you to say, I feel like knowing what we know about Ryan and his stance and you know his background and about relationships and love is a very serious thing. I'd just be like, so, you know, some people when they are, you know, in that vein, like, so in order for them to go the intimacy, the sexual intercourse route, it has to be like, I love this person. I'm in love with this person. And so I'm feeling like if that's the way he's gone, I'm like, you never said or felt that way about somebody. I can't see where you had sex with anybody then. I'm just saying. That's why I say I got virgin vibes.
I'm hearing you. Talisa, what are you saying?
Well, I am going to say this. It's only been a couple weeks. So for her to be sexually frustrated in the way that she is a problem. Like, it's a problem. And I also feel like I'm going to say something different here. Just stay with me. They are very much so mixed match, right? They're not matched together perfectly or not even close. Where she is, like you guys said, very big personality, very extrovert. He's very introvert. And she's a little more shallow than he is. I feel like he was looking for her to share something with him to have that connection. You know what I'm saying? He said, you know, it motivates me because of the things that people laid out behind, you know, for me, my path, etc. And so for me, when I heard that, I heard blackness. I heard my ancestors. I heard the things that people went through for me. And so with that, there's going to be a disconnect in their culture because she wants somebody, you know, racially ambiguous. though he's still a black man. No matter how much he wants to hide it, he's still a black man. He still has black experiences,
Mm-hmm.
and he still wants to, prove that I'm able, I'm capable, though. And so I don't want you to see me as a black man, but really I am. And I want to level up. I want to show you what I'm capable of doing. And I think that that's going to end up being a problem with their relationship in just a little bit. My dogs are going crazy, y'all. So I'm sorry if
That's
you hear
cool.
them.
You're good. Go for it.
So I just feel like somewhere along the line, there's going to be some issue about their cultural difference, even though he's not going to say it. It's an underlining thing, and he really wants her to show me that you've got some depth. Show me that that there's some substance behind you. Okay, you like donuts and they good, and whatever you're doing in the bedroom for me is great, but where's the substance? Right? What is your purpose? Right? Like, tell me something. And I think for me, that's what Ryan is looking for. And I felt like she dismissed him. Like you saying,
I agree that, yeah.
It was totally dismissive for you just to be like, I feel like I'm free donuts for a motivational speech. Like, I'm offended. You only know me 2 weeks. You should want to know everything about me, because here you keep talking about this relationship we're going to build and these children that we're going to have. So you need to know all this, and I need to know it about you too. So like you said, Jackie, like, listen, the motivational things that motivate you, your goals and expectations, those conversations come up because I've only known you for a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And calm down, girl. Just go in the shower or something. Relax. Take a deep breath, honey. I don't know. All that frustration. It's too much. But he might have a little virgin vibes. I didn't think about that. That was perfect. Yeah.
No, I definitely hear that, and I think one thing I said about them too is just that moment there. I know a lot of people were like, yeah, he was going on and it was raging, but I said, if you're in a marriage, he may be going on, but you just destroyed a safe space. You don't realize that you've killed a moment, and you may think it's small, it's huge, because that person remembers the fact that when I began to be vulnerable to you, you killed it off. That person now closed that part of their heart to you. So it was actually a very big thing that she did. Like, Eric almost did the exact same thing with Virginia, where he started talking when Virginia was trying to be vulnerable, and she shut him off just in time. But that right there, if anyone's watching that, let me tell you something: you do not do that. Relationship, marriage, whatever you want to call it, you never do that. Even if you think the person's raging on, let them rage on. You know what I'm saying? And if you haven't got the time for it, you tell them, listen, look, maybe look, right now I haven't got as much time to be able to have the whole conversation. Let's table this for another time. But if you say what she said in a relationship, I'm gonna guarantee you, especially to a man, because men have got fragile egos. You do that to us, you are finished. We are never telling you something again. We're not telling you anything again. We'll just lock it off. We'll just keep that part of our life to ourselves.
Good point.
Right? Mm-hmm. So when she did that, I was like, girl, you may be feeling a bit tasty, I know, from the frustration, but the frustration is beginning to move into sections that you don't need it to move into, sis. You know what I'm saying? Just bring it back. Just bring it back. I'm with you, though. I understand the frustration, but sis, you got to pull that back in just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I also do understand that part of his speech may have had a bit of spice in it. Just a little bit of spice, where he was trying to almost prick her, like, so you don't have no deep motivation, but let me give you the deep motivation that I've got. And it almost felt like maybe it could have been read that you are trying to say that she hasn't got any depth to her. You know what I'm saying? So it may have come across like that to her at the same time. So I can see both sides of that point of view. Eric and Eric and Virginia. I don't know why Eric is in my head. I don't know who I'm thinking about. Eric and Virginia. Okay. What are our thoughts on Eric and Virginia? Talisa, since you're last week, I'll let you go. Eric and Virginia, what are we saying about those two? They had a very frank conversation on the couch, and he told her that he measures every girl to his ex. So
I don't know why I have to go first. Like, I just don't understand why you got me going first. I could have went last or not at all. And Erica, like I was like, okay, slip of the tongue, Erica, because he is a little, he does do things that make us think that there's some, what's going on with you. But I actually like the fact that she was able to say, I'm afraid to say that we're in a good space, because you're comparing everybody to that first marriage that did not work out, that you keep saying that you are, you're holding me to the standard. I'm kind of proud of her for opening up and saying that. In the same breath, though, she should have. He turned around and was like, "Yeah, well, you're better. Okay." These people, I think I'm frustrated because these people have only known each other for 3 weeks, and so all the things that they're saying to me is just so unrealistic. Like everything for me is just so unrealistic, and I have to keep reminding myself that it's a fast process, right? And these people want to be in love, and some of it, is inferred. But I'm happy at her progress in this moment. Is specifically being able to express herself, specifically being able to say, "This is what I'm afraid of. Here are my fears." And laying them out, because most people can't do that. We can't say, "I'm afraid to be in this relationship because you're going to break my heart," or "I haven't been in one and this is why." So I commend her on that, but I'm still like, okay, I'm just gonna call him Ryan. Okay, Eric, you're kind of double standard. You're gone for all this time, right? These 4 days. You want her to call you every hour on the hour when she's just gone for the weekend. You're in a plane, you're gone, and I get you can't have those same conversations, but what she said was, "You're sending me text messages, quick, and we're having 15-minute calls." You can make time to call me. You can make time before the flight, after the flight, while you're taxiing on the plane. We know those pilots do all kind of stuff up there in that cockpit. So you're able to do what you're asking of me, and it's not fair for you to have that double standard. It's not fair for you to expect something from me and not give it back. And then they said something about, she was like, she felt unappreciated about, she did all her wifely duties, all this organizing that she did, and he didn't take notice. Well, that's because that's not his love language. Acts of service isn't his love language, right? His love language is more of quality time and physical touch. So you doing that didn't mean anything. So I don't know. I just don't like them. Like I don't like them, but and I really feel like it's unrealistic for him to really be talking about how much he loves her right now, and you've got all these things that you aren't accepting of her. Like, we all know she has an alcohol problem. You're going to want to change that about her. You already know that she wants to go out all the time. You're going to want to change that about her. So all these things about, I love you right now, or I found that I love you, or I love all these things about you, and now I love you. It's unrealistic. And that's even with Bree and Vincent. It's unrealistic. Love has so many varying degrees, right? I can love you because you cook. I can love you because you have a beautiful smile. But don't make it like I love you romantically, because that's unrealistic right now. Like, I love you because it's new relationship energy and the sex is good or whatever. But I'm tired of them too. So I just want to say that. I think I'm about tired of everybody. I think the theme today is I'm tired of everybody. I think I'm a little bitter today about these people. Yeah, I'm gonna reset. Okay.
I hear you, Jack and Glenn. What are you saying? Eric and Virginia, what are you saying?
I think Eric, to me, wants to be married so much that he wants his marriage to be so perfect that he's willing to try to force that on Virginia. I do think, I agree with Talisa. I was glad that Virginia was able to open up. Said she basically told us, I have never seen a successful relationship. I've never seen mom and dad. The best relationship I've seen is my sister's and her partner. You know what I'm saying? That's the best relationship, or the best thing I've seen since love. So she's letting him know that I'm gonna have some trouble in this marriage because I don't have any point of references. I don't have anything to point to. So I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to make some issues, but I just need you to be supportive. And not overbearing, but supportive. Is a difference when you're overbearing to being supportive. He is not reciprocating what he expects for her, the expectations of her. But again, I think we talked about it last week with Stephanie. No one has ever set any rules of engagement. They haven't set any boundaries. They haven't said anything, this is our expectations in this marriage. If you could, please give me a call when you land and when you take off and when you land. I just want to know you're okay. You know what I'm saying? I just want to know that your flight made it. I don't want to hear it on the 6 o'clock or the 11 o'clock news that you didn't, the plane went down. Just let me know that you're okay. So he has to reciprocate what he wants for her, because in marriage, there's a give and take. We have to be able to submit one to another. We have to be able to respect one another. So if you want to hold me to a standard, well, let's hold each other to the same standard in this relationship, in this standard, in this marriage. Again, it goes back to the conversation. I do agree with Talisa. Again, y'all 18, 20 days in, he's falling head over heels for this young lady in love. You know, y'all been through a lot of situations. Is it really love, or is it really just a deep care for right now, or is it deep lust, or there's certain aspects of her that you like? Is it fully love? Because again, love is unconditional. If you're doing is it unconditional love? That means you accept her drinking, you accept everything about her, but there's still some areas in her life that he does not like. So he has to. I don't think they've reached that unconditional love yet, but I think he's growing to love her. I think she really appreciates him because this is probably the most stable thing in her life. I had to really think about this with her. This is right now because she said it. By this time in my relationship, I'd have been running. I'd have been gone.
Mm-hmm.
So now this is the most stability she has had in a long time. So she's getting comfortable being stable with him, and I don't think she's going anywhere. But I do think they will work out, and they will. They still have some issues, but they're going to work because she's been stable.
Yeah, I like.
She feel comfortable.
I like that you made that point. That she did say, this would be the week that I would be exiting the relationship. She said, this would be the week. About 20 days in, I'd be like, yeah, I'm done with it. I'm done with it. And so I think that's why that made her even more scared when he was like, I compare my relationships to in his words, to the marriage of convenience, the marriage of benefits that he had. Because now you're confusing me. Because you said that y'all just got married for the benefits, for the convenience. So why are you comparing relationships to that? So it was more than that. What am I missing? I'm missing something. And so she's like, I'm sticking in there where normally I would have run. And then you tell me this. I'm scared.
Mm-hmm.
I'm scared. This is why I don't give my heart to guys. This is why I don't jump in head first. But to Talisa's point, I agree. This ain't love. This is Jamie Foxx had a song. Is it just infatuation? It is infatuation.
Mm-hmm.
You're infatuated with each other right now. You're in extreme like. You in like. Y'all ain't like. And I'm not mad at it, but I do take my hat off to her for being able to express her sentiments and say that to him. And it's got to be reciprocal too. Like we've made that point. Whatever he's expecting her to do, he's going to have to find a way, figure it out. While you taxiing, like you said, before takeoff, at landing, figure it out. But if you want me to call you every hour on the hour, you're going to have to get something very close to that.
Hear that. August Lives. Talk to us, man. What you think?
The one thing that stood out the most to me with Eric and Virginia was the fact that he wasn't reciprocating the communication when he's gone. Like I already thought it was an unrealistic request from him to her. But you have to give what you ask for.
Yep.
And the obvious. If Virginia says she thought it was more, he's obviously not doing anything. Because she thought what she did when she was out of town was too much. You know what I'm saying? So it's that's the one thing that bothers me the most. And then on top of everything else, you're comparing this like you guys said before, the marriage before was like an agreement or something like that. Like, hey, we want you to move with me. I want you to move with me. Get these benefits that they have. We have to be married. Let's do that. But then you're basing the last 3 years based off of that relationship. That's unfair to the people that you're dating. Like, why would you do that to your current wife? And now she's feeling the pressure of, I don't know how I can compare to that. And she don't really know what the situation was unless, like, what we see, we don't know what the situation was. Basically, they may have had a different conversation than what was portrayed on TV. But from my eyes, it's like, bro, this was basically a friend getting benefits from a friend, and then it didn't work. It ran its course, and now we moved on to the next situation. Like, I'm not gonna compare my worst relationship for the next 6 years, you know what I'm saying, to every girl I date, So I mean, it's I don't know, man. Virginia and Eric, she has a drinking problem. and Eric has it's daddy vibes for me. Like, he gives off daddy vibes. Like, I can tell you what to do. Even when they were talking to each other, he was like talking to her like he was her dad. That's bothering me the most, man. He just, I don't know, man. I think it's Eric.
I think Eric, for me, gives off a lot of red flags as it relates to his previous marriage. He talks about it. He talks it up so much, like it was such a great relationship. But there's something that made it end in divorce. What is it that made it end in divorce? And what was your role in it? Because we all have some type of role in a relationship, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. There's always something that we've done that we can take into our next relationship and say, I'm going to do this better. It makes me wonder, was it that he felt like he didn't have enough control of that relationship, so he's trying to control this one more? Or something of that nature? Because it's just like we saw in the preview for the next episode, being like the third or fourth time that Eric has literally said, I'll leave. Right. Why are you threatening someone with divorce? And it's not even a divorce worthy conversation. It's like, if she doesn't want kids, I'll divorce. Why'd you marry a stranger if kids was a deal breaker?
Right.
You should not have done that. So it's something weird with Eric and his previous marriage that just does not make sense, and it's not clicking. And I don't know if Virginia's not asking the right questions or if we just haven't seen her ask the right questions. But something there isn't clicking with that previous relationship and why he places it on a pedestal, but he's also not in it. Because the only time that I've seen people place a previous relationship on a pedestal and they're not in it anymore is death. Literally.
Agreed.
That's literally it. Like, when your spouse dies, okay, you could say there were some bad parts of my relationship, but let me tell you all the great things about this person. But we don't tend to talk about people that we've divorced in that way. Like, good, bad, or indifferent. It's like, even if I was the entire blame, like, say I cheated, we got a divorce because I cheated. The person that you're divorcing doesn't just walk around and say, but she was a really great wife to me. There was something that happened that you cheated. Like, what was that reason? Right. So it's something that we're missing from this conversation that's just not connecting for me.
100%. I'm hearing you guys on that. 100%. Last but not least of the couples, Haley and the Jacob. Haley and the Jacob. Haley and the Jacob. This is the couple who, someone's buying shirts, a whole entire wardrobe for, which, by the way, I'm not gonna lie to you, I think I like the shirts that were on him. I mean, she actually had some good taste on the shirts. Let me not hate on that, okay? I didn't like what she did, but the shirts were cute. You know what I'm saying? The t-shirt even got with a grey I said that she knows his style. You know what I'm saying? So he should not complain. Let me go Jack and Glenn. Let me change it up a little bit. I know I keep going back and forth, but let me go Jack and Glenn, for instance. What do you guys think of Haley and Jacob? The whole shirt gate.
I think her friend Lauren is a winner. I think Lauren's giving us some great advice. I think Lauren is helping her out a lot. I do appreciate the fact that she did go out and take Lauren's advice from the previous show and help Jacob out. I don't like the way that the conversation went after that. To me, it was like, okay, even though her and Jacob, they had a discussion and we talked about not forgetting, but tabling the situation and know the right time and moment. Jacob brought something up, and I didn't think it was the right time and moment for him to bring it up.
Not sitting in the shirt I just bought.
Not sitting in the shirt that she's trying to make a gesture. She's trying to make a peace agreement. She's trying to, she's trying to learn to like you and to feel you and appreciate you. And he can't get past the fact that she said he wasn't attractive. Now, there's no physical attraction. She just bought you a shirt that you're sitting in. She may start to get physically attracted to you because of your wardrobe. So now she's trying to help you out a little bit, but he has that one-track mind that he's focusing on this. And I guess my thing is, okay, attack the issue, deal with the issue, but there's a way that you can handle the issue that both of you guys can come out whole, where you allow her to speak and have a conversation, and she can tell you, it's okay You're 20 days in. I go back to Talisa. This can't be love. I'm not physically attracted to you yet. But we saw Jamie, Otis, and Doug wasn't feeling physically attracted, but they still married. So find something else that you are attracted to about the person if you end this all the way. It may not be physical attraction. It may be the way they conversate with you, maybe the way they treat you, maybe the way they embrace you. Now, we know Haley doesn't have a great track record. I'm not giving her a pass. She done lied to the man. She done skirted out on the dude. She done hung out with Paige all night on this dude. So, she don't get a pass because she don't want to be around him. But I guess with the shirt juster, she is trying a little bit. And he just got to give her some leeway in the fact that she did try. I mean, the conversation got better as the episode went along. But I still don't think this relationship's going to work out. Because I think he's checked out and she's just trying for the sake of trying.
I don't have anything to say. But I don't have nothing to say. I was bothered by that though. It was like, I don't know. He got the gesture, but then he's like, but yeah, anyway, let me get back to this. Let me get back to this. I like the shirt you bought, but anyway, let me get it back because I'm not finished complaining. So I'm gonna complain some more about this. So I was just like, come on, Jacob, let's settle in this moment where she took the time to go get you some shirts. She spent time in Old Navy with the cashier and walked around the store and found your size. And she probably snuck and looked at your shirt to see what size you wore, And it's gonna take some time. They've told him this. Give her some time. Give her some time. And Haley's got to give some too. I think that was her gesture, but I don't.
But real quick on a time thing, I don't know. I keep saying, do these people go on the show and not watch the show? Have you not watched? It's 12 seasons. You have 8 weeks to get to know this person, and you're gonna waste 20-some days, 3 weeks, and y'all still at this issue of I'm trying to figure out who you are.
Jeffy did the same thing.
That's just my last point on that.
Jeffy also we're not sure if he was faithful. I'm just going to be honest with you. He was that little period of time where they were on the break, he went a bit mad, just saying.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jeffy, though. I appreciate him still. He brought that round. I'm going to Lisa. So, Lisa, what's your thoughts on Jacob and the Haleys?
Well, I like that she gave her olive branch. That was her olive branch. Here are some clothes, because it is something that may help me like you. Like, that is one of my biggest issues. So here is my olive branch. I appreciate that. I'm with you all with the timing of that conversation was off. It is a conversation that they needed to have because I'm not physically attracted to you. And it was important for me to let you know that I'm not physically attracted to you so that you could stop trying to hump on my leg, stop trying to rub up on me, because it's not going to work. Like, I don't want it. I don't like you. I don't want it. So I commend her for speaking her truth. I'm not attracted to you physically. I agree. But I'm not attracted to you emotionally, mentally, conversationally, and any other way either, right? So, but the one thing I think that he was most concerned about was if he could get her goodies again. If that's be a thing. We did this in Vegas, so can we try it again? Like, maybe the first time was bad, but the second time I'm trying to get to it so I can show you that I'm working with, what I can do. But now that I know I'm not attracted to you, I mean, you're not attracted to me, I'm out, right? I'm out. Right. We can't go anywhere from here. I am going to say that when they did have that conversation, I'm glad that Haley said, hold up. When you said, well, you haven't been in a relationship for 7 years, pretty much. What do you know, right? His whole attitude towards that. I'm really proud of her. Her lip was quivering. She was real upset and had to let him know, I told you that you needed to be patient with me. I done told you more than one time that you needed to be patient with me. And that's what I'm asking. And if you keep pushing up on me, all I'm going to do is exit the whole situation. So I was actually kind of proud of her finally being able to, well, she said that a bunch of times, but she vocalized it in a way that I think he understood, because later on you saw that he said, I understand that I need to give you, time and patience, but they're doomed. She's not gonna go. There's never going to be a yes from her. Like, there is no recovery, no matter how much her rational, logical friend Lauren tells her to think on the other side and give her that other, there is never going to be a no. And if there is, I'm going to be shocked. And you're going to hear me say, I'm so shocked that they said yes. So That's my thought about it. See, I'm back. I was bitter, but I'm back because I actually like talking about Jacob and Haley. I don't like them as a couple, but I do like talking about them. I don't know why, but I like talking about them.
I'm hearing you. August Louvre, what's your thoughts on Shirtgate?
Shirtgate. No, that was a good move by Haley to give him a close, because that was the biggest drawback that she had, was like the man is stuck in the 80s. She wanted, it's 2020 at the time, right? So she want to move up in the years. So one thing that we talked about is the fact that Jake asked a question he couldn't handle the answer to.
Yeah.
And he's messing up so bad with the conversations that he's having with her. Like, we've all seen a couple. The woman is completely beautiful, but she's with an ugly man. Man could be like we've all seen that. Like, look at us. I ain't calling myself ugly, but hey, it is what it is. But you know what I'm saying? But it's about the personality, because looks are going to fade. We've all seen that. We all know that looks are going to fade.
Chris's mama said that on the first episode. I mean, his grandmama.
His grandmama did.
Absolutely.
So if the only thing we have is the physical attraction, he's eliminating himself from everything else. Okay, you're not physically attracted to me. Let's get to know each other. Let's see if we can't be friends. Because at the end of the day, if we can be friends, we can be married. That's where it starts from. It's just being good friends with each other, and that's how you get over the other things. So it's like, man, you see Jake just digging the ditch, and eventually he's gonna jump in, because he's destroying any opportunity that he has with her. Yeah. Even if his goal was to just get some more, that's not the way that you do that. Like, you're not gonna get it that way, man.
They ain't getting no more.
The only thing that I have to say about them is that I hope they make it to Prague, whether they're friends or married, because they both. She's been, but he wants to go, and she says she'll go with him. That's all I got for them.
No, I'm hearing you guys. I mean, I hear you. I mean, do you know what? Yeah, I didn't have a full problem with the shirt thing. I just think to myself, maybe she could have said, let's go together and let's see what we can do. And maybe that might have saved a bit of the hassle that may have gone. Because although he didn't say like he didn't say he was fully annoyed by it, but it might have just shown a bit more like we're teaming it together. Do you know what I mean? Because it kind of looks a little bit dodgy if you're going, I don't find you attractive, and then you're changing my wardrobe. Do you know what I mean? Like, if this was flipped now, it's gonna look look at some way. If you start telling your girl, listen, you're not attracted to me, let me change your wardrobe. It might look a bit some way. But the rules are not fair, so not everything in life is equal, guys. So it's not always we have to flip it. But in all honesty, with their particular situation, I think what I see is a struggle from Jacob, especially, to comprehend anything beyond, if you don't find me attractive, us going anywhere. And I think for Haley, for her, she's a commitment phobe. So there was an instant conversation they had where he said to her, like, so have you been in love? And she's like, I'm not really sure. And he was like, wait, hold on a minute, that relationship you had 5 years, whatever. And he was like, that wound. And it was like, old girl started tearing up again. I said, wait, hold a minute. This is 7 years ago. Okay, right. 7 years ago. Are you tearing up about a 5-year relationship 7 years ago? Darling.
And then that 7 years ago, we have to also remember she was 21. This was her high school boyfriend. She had a boyfriend as an adult, like a true adult. And that says a lot. Like, 21-year-old Artika and the guys that she dated back then, like, I don't know them. They don't know.
They wasn't the Tommy, man. That's all I got.
Like, I don't know them. They don't know.
It wasn't you, bro. That's the caliber, not the caliber.
I mean, I knew him when we were 21, but I would have never dated him at 21.
No, I wouldn't.
Ever.
I wouldn't advise that.
But
either.
it's just like 21-year-old Haley who had a boyfriend for, I think she said, like 5 years.
Yeah.
So this was her boyfriend from like sophomore year of high school that made it to like sophomore, junior year of college. Like, Girl, come on.
I want you to get this. That's when you really look at a soul tie, because I guarantee you that's probably the first person she slept with.
Probably.
And so there's a connection there with this guy that she can't break yet. And so that's why she starts tearing up, because there's a good connection there. It didn't work out.
Not good.
Well, not good
like
connection,
good, like
but a strong connection there. It didn't work out, but I gave you my everything. And there was good times. And I've been struggling in every relationship ever since this. And she needed to get some things fixed with that relationship in order for her to be able to move on with Jacob. She need counseling too.
Well, you know, I'm gonna say this, ladies, y'all buy stuff for y'all husbands. Like, I know I used to buy stuff for my husband and bring it in. And I think, though, her delivery might have been, I mean, if she would have been like, let me see you do that fashion show, he might have felt like something. I don't think there was anything wrong. Okay, Cole, I don't think anything was wrong with her buying those shirts without him.
I like shirts.
Right after she left Lauren, okay, and was like, let me go give this olive branch. I think she was really making a concerted effort. Like, I thought about you. For me, that's you. Oh, you thought about me. You actually went somewhere and shopped and thought about me. So I don't know, but she probably her presentation should have been a little better. He might have been like, oh, look, maybe. I don't know. That's just me. Just because I'm over the top when I be doing, when I want something my way, I go over the top, go way the extra mile so that they feel like it was for them when it was for me. I mean, that's a little whatever.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily complain, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? I personally wouldn't. If you get me some new shirts, I'm gonna take it as it is. I've got some new shirts. I'm not about some complaining about it. Do you know what I'm saying? But that just maybe because I feel like, hey, if you think you know better fashion, listen, I'll go with it. I'm not beef. It's not my big issue about that. Do you know what I mean? But maybe for him, he might have seen it as, hold on a minute. And remember as well, safe spaces are all important, because that safe space between them two doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Whereas for a lot of people, they've got into a relationship with that person, they know that person. Imagine if after 11 days or even 14 days, you get a partner that says to you, listen, you're going to have to change that wardrobe. I'm not going to lie to you, because like, this is not working for me. You'll be looking at like, excuse me, 14 days in and you are changing my wardrobe already. You might be thinking to yourself, But if you have that safe space, I absolutely agree with you 100%. Like, we all do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all do it. Even I know women are very, very smart. You know, they'll buy a new pair of shoes because they're trying to tell you the shoes that you like have on right now is not the one they want. It happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, we understand. But I just felt like I didn't have that safe space. But I'm hearing you on that. I guess obviously final thoughts then, guys. For this week, final thoughts, roundup conclusions around anyone you feel like you conclude how you want to conclude. Let me go, Jack and Glenn. Conclude for me. Give me a conclusion on that.
Hey, look, first conclusion is this, man. Haley with Jacob, I think your point was made about her offer him to go together to go try some clothes on would have been good. It would have helped build a relationship and show him again another extended of the olive branch. I do want to spend time with you, and let's do something together. We haven't yet to see them really do too many things together. She do need to communicate with him. Just send him a text. I'm still with Paige. She's going through right now. I'll be home in a minute. Again, he likes to be around, so he has some insecurities with himself that when she's not around, he doesn't feel loved or feel like he's wanted. So she should be able to communicate with them. Eric and Virginia, they just need to continue to work. Eric needs to stop being a prima donna and give her some leeway and let them be able to submit to one another and set some boundaries, not just the boundaries he wants, but the boundaries she wants, and go ahead and compromise together and set out the boundaries for their marriage. Claire and Ryan just need to go ahead and tell her, look, I'm slow with having sex, or I'm slow with this emotion. I really don't trust you yet. I'm not really sure know if you're down for the culture or you're down for me. So I want you to be able to let's be able to get together and work on these things.
And in the meantime, you don't have to do something for me that I'm not doing for you.
Yeah, you don't.
I'm gonna let you off the hook.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you off the hook. I'm gonna let you off the hook there. So on that aspect of it, Paige and Chris, Paige needs to go ahead and just build her self-esteem up. Talk to her pastor and not somebody else's pastor.
Well,
who's their boy? Because I don't think Pastor DeWhite really gave her any advice. He just was messy. If you want to find out, we did a video on that. You can check that out after you finish watching this.
Coach did too.
Go over to Jack and Glenn, because I think Pastor DeWhite was more messy than anything else. I think Paige needs to build her self-esteem up. And again, if my thing to Chris, if you keep having all these meetings, at least talk. At least talk. You have meetings and don't even say nothing, have no conversation in the meeting whatsoever, but yet still gets the result that he wants out of most meetings because he still got back with Paige. So it's to me, I think this season shows you a lot where the experts are supposed to be at. You know, I read an article this week that the experts do talk to them off camera, not always on camera, but off camera. They're giving them advice. And we heard from Pastor Cal in the Paige situation that they gave her advice, but she's going against the sound advice. So I think a lot of her issues and a lot of some of these couples' issues, they're not listening to the advice of the expert. Just because we don't see them, don't mean they're not involved.
Yeah. The only thing my last thought is, since you went there, my only last thought is there's safety in the council, a multitude of councils.
Yep.
So, I just want Paige to call her good girlfriend on the phone, call her mama, her brother on the phone, embarrassed or not. I'm in a hole right now. Like, I don't know what to do. Pastor Cal has said it. Even though Pastor Dwight's not her pastor, he said it. She needs a multitude of counsel to talk to her. And maybe they can talk some sense into her, because Paige, honey.
Until people receive it on their own, I don't care how many people talk.
She gotta have, I just feel like she has somebody that can get through that thick skull of hers and say, honey, you do not need to put up with this. It's somebody, but she won't go to that person because she knows they're gonna tell her that. She knows they're gonna tell her that. I want her to get her, put her big girl panties on and call that friend.
Appreciate. Talisa, talk to me, man. Final points.
Yeah. So, and I was thinking about Brianna and Vincent, and specifically Vince. I just really want him to be kind to himself, be more gentle with himself, be more patient with himself, be more understanding with himself, so that he can get past, this hurdle that he's in of insecurity because he is embarrassed or he can't do something or it doesn't look the way he wants it to look. I really think that they have a good shot. Maybe, but not, I don't know. I'm going to take that good shot back. Let me pull that back because of his anger issues and her having to deal with that and tread lightly. I don't know how successful they're going to be, though they may both want the relationship. Vince has some work to do. I mean, so does Brianna. She's actually doing really well, but she, in this moment, is doing a lot better than he is because she heard what he said. But he definitely needs to do the work. When I think about Clara and Ryan, I really think that Clara needs to tell Ryan, I'm not going to service you anymore until we get to a place, where we can collectively agree about where we're going. I'm not going to do that. This is not a 68 situation. Okay. I don't know. So let's not do it. When I think about Eric and Virginia, I just think that Eric is just really creepy. And so I don't really like him a lot. And Virginia just drinks a lot. And so I just don't really have much to say except for they're not going to work. If they say yes, it's going to be because of TV. We'll see them divorced in about a year. And then who we have left? Oh, Haley and Jacob. I like them separately. And not really Haley, but I do. I mean, I would prefer them. I would probably go have a drink with Haley. You know what I'm saying? And I would watch some like E.T. or Goonies or something with Jake separately, but together they're definitely not going to work. I think that's everybody. If I miss somebody, then they must not be of importance. But because nobody is going to say it, y'all go and subscribe to all of our channels. Go ahead and follow us on Instagram. We said our names. They're right here. I mean, because we already know that you're here and you're following him. Come follow us too.
Come on now.
Okay?
Come on
Thank
now.
you. Thank you.
Now. Appreciate it, Lisa. August Love, you're the final voice today.
So Jacob and Haley, Jacob is messing up. He has a chance to make things right. Don't ask questions you can't handle the answer to. Just because he asked her if she's physically attracted to him, and he knew the answer to that. If it was any other answer, he would have got some, and that question never would have came up. So he needs to work on that. Just having the conversations. Like the end of the episode really showed a different direction. Like when she was willing to risk it all by eating shellfish, and she's allergic to it. Maybe crab, whatever it was, she may be allergic to it. He would have been there to either help her or watch her die, one of the two. So you just work on it. With that, who else we got? Virginia and Eric. Man, I don't really know what to say because he gives off the vibes of that's her dad, and she's talking to her dad, and it's nasty, it's creepy. They just need to work on their communication issues. She needs to grow up, and he needs to calm down. One of the two. Both of them. Chris and Paige, we shouldn't even be talking about them at this point because at this point it's Paige. You can't put any blame on Chris because Chris has given us Chris throughout this whole time. It's Paige. So, Paige needs to just get herself together and figure out she's making herself look a fool on national TV. Who else am I missing? Bree and Vincent. Vincent needs to talk to a counselor because Bree is gonna get uninterested in trying to walk on eggshells throughout the whole, their relationship because it's only so much you can take as far as having to think about what you're saying before it just comes out and it blows up in everybody's face. I feel like it's Claire and Ryan. I never thought about Ryan trying to, take the avenue of representing Black people in a sense of the history behind Black people in America and everything like that. I never thought of it that way because Ryan gave that vibe of he was Black, but he hung out with all white people. That vibe of it didn't matter.
Like he was the token Black guy.
Right, he was the token Black guy. But I when you guys brought it up, I was like, that does make sense. My thoughts on that for them to work, because for them to ultimately work out, Clara's gonna have to start listening to what he says, and Ryan is gonna have to understand that I can't be so strong about that. In the beginning, I can't give her 10 pages of my dissertation, and I'm just meeting her. Let me give her a taste just to see where she at, and then I know how to present it to her, because you can be authentically you, but you're not giving them all in that one day, in that 2 weeks, in that first 3 weeks. So his approach to it has to get better. But like Talisa said, go subscribe to everybody's channel, follow on Instagram and Facebook and all that good stuff. It's in the description and everything. And that's all
I'll
I
just
got.
end on that last thing about Ryan. I didn't pay attention to it until just now, but thinking back to the Unfiltered episodes, he has been wearing Black Lives Matter shirts in just about every one of those.
Okay.
Been a statement, and I don't know if that's family telling him to make this statement or if it's him deciding to make that statement. But I got the ancestor thing, but I felt like I don't want to say drug it out, but he drug it out longer than it needed to be to try to make the point to her where he lost her because it was too long, because he lost me because it was too long. And
It wasn't a conversation.
I'm super pro Black family. My family's involved in Juneteenth. We do the festivals. I made this shirt. We're pro Black family around here. But it's just come on, over donuts, bro. Just trying to have my donuts and have a date with my husband. That's a house conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Can I say one more thing? I just want to say one more thing. So and it's about us. Us as women, I'm talking about the three of us here and plus Stephanie, we always have such great insights, right? But it is such a breath of fresh air to hear you fellas talk about relational situations and make sense. And it's good for women to hear your point of view. And I just want to say thank you. And we honor you just for sharing your opinion with us. It really is important that we hear your voice as Black men. Okay, so thank you. That's all I wanted.
Thank you, Talisa. Thank you, Talisa. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? The Holy Spirit beside me appreciate you too, man. Thank you. Guys, we have come to the end of this US task force talking about Married at First Sight. I hope you guys have enjoyed the deep conversations. I always appreciate my panelists, August Love Story, Jack and Glenn, Talisa Ray. I appreciate them because they always come correct, they always come deep, and they always come with a different insight to the way they look at relationships and the way we're looking at some of the scenarios on the show. And that's what makes it a more holistic conversation. That's what helps us grow as well, right? None of us can see everything all at one go, and we all have different perspectives, which makes it even more exciting. So I want you guys to continue that conversation behind the scenes. I know you guys are chatting in a conversation right now and you're enjoying yourselves. You know what I'm saying? I always encourage you guys, listen, make sure you connect to someone in the chat. That could be your best friend. You don't know, it could be someone that's connection, a network. You understand? This is not just a network here. You guys got a whole lot of network in the comment section. So if you like what the comments are saying from certain people, connect with them, ask for them email or ask for their Instagram, whatever. Connect, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Use this platform as a place to really open some doors for yourself. You never know. So thank you guys for coming through once more, audience members. Make sure you smash the like button before you leave this particular conversation. We'll be here again next week. Hopefully we'll have better news for you on Chris and Paige. We can only hope and we can only pray. All right. But yeah, it's been exciting. It's been powerful. August Love Story, Talisa Ray, Jack and Glenn, thanks so much, guys. Make sure you follow them as well. Okay, that's why we're having these conversations. Make sure you follow them. All right, if you want to see more from them and great content for them, make sure you follow them as well. Well, good night, guys. It's been beautiful, and we'll see you again next week. Appreciate you guys. Stay locked, stay loaded, man.